Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be doing a quick little box opening and then a really fun project. I am completely going different on this project than I normally would. This is a spring kit from Aussie Craft Cutters, and this spring kit is beautiful. Wait till you see everything that's in it. So I already opened it, of course, because I'm just too impatient. But I want to show you the stencil first. So this I really think is cool. It's just really, really different and unique. And I'm thinking if you did all different kinds of colors, oh, that would be just beautiful. So you get the stencil, you get her paper. This is transfer paper. I have a ton of videos on these, but what I was thinking of doing with them, I'm going to show you the cutters now, is I was thinking how adorable would these little bunny rabbits be for this paper. So you get the bunny rabbits that are mirrored, and I thought these would be just too cute. And then you can put a little pom-pom on the tail or something like that. So the paper and the bunnies would look great together. And then you also get a mushroom cutter. You get lots of cutters in this one. So you get the mushroom cutter, which is a stamp and a cutter together. You get two different acorns. So my first thought was, how adorable would this be for a set of earrings? And then the leaves. So you could honestly do, you know, the leaves and the acorn, you know, as a dangle pair of earrings, you know, like kind of dangle them off each other or something like that. But so you get two leaves, two acorns, two bunnies, and a mushroom. So lots of cutters in this particular kit. Then you get this really neat roller. So I absolutely like this roller a lot because it is multi-purposed, I guess you could say. So you have embossed, debossed, you have different shapes. It's just a really, really cool roller. So unfortunately, we're not going to play with this one today. I have a whole plan of what we're going to do with this kit, which I know, or at least I hope you guys are just going to love. You get your mica powder, which is beautiful. You also get a little mold, and I thought that was pretty cool. So you got the wings here. So love the wings. I'm a big butterfly person, so anything with wings and spring, I'm right there with it. And if you follow me, you know that I love my wood earrings. So check these out. So you get flowers, wings. These will be mirrored. And then you have your regular blanks and then the little circles. So very, very cute. Lots of different options in this kit. This is a big kit and a lot of great products. So I'm only going to use a couple things today because I have a project in mind that you guys are going to just love. So anyway, then you get this mold, which is a flower, and then you get these little flower petals. So of course, I decided we're going to use this mold and these flower petals because I have a plan. So I know I keep saying it, but I have a plan. I think you guys are really going to like it. At least I hope you do. And lastly, but not least, you get a really cool wood box. So you can see that you got like the flowers. And then what you would do is you would take these sticks, and obviously I would glue these all together, but you would put these all together here, and it has the slots for everything, and it makes a beautiful little basket. I mean, how cute is that? I just thought that was adorable that she came up with that idea. So very, very cute little idea. I'm loving this kit. So, all right, let's get started on what I want to do. So if you haven't noticed yet, I have rings here, ring blanks, and then I have earring blanks. And that's what we are going to be doing today with some flowers. I haven't done any flowers like this on my channel yet when it comes to rings and things like that. But I am super excited to try this out. I kind of played around a little bit. So let's get started on that one. I picked out some of my scrap clay, and to my surprise, I think this matches pretty darn perfect. So we're going to use my scrap clay, and then for fun, I'm going to do different colors. All right. So, and because if you take notice, the petals here have gold around them. So of course, I'm going to add a little bit of gold in the middle. So everything combines beautifully together. You're going to want poly paste for your rings and your earring posts to make sure that your clay really sticks in there and it doesn't come out. And then I also grabbed some gold mica powder to edge things off. But I have the feeling I'll end up using my gold metallic pen at the end. But we're going to see how it all goes. Grab some round cutters. And I'm going to do different sizes. So I wanted to make sure that I had something that was pretty close to the size of my mold, and then obviously a little smaller ones. So that's what we're going to be doing, is playing around with all the different sizes and seeing what we could come up with. All right, so we're going to start out with the big one. So I'm going to want 2 big ones. And then I'm going to do 2 of these. I have my clay rolled out to my middle section on my pasta machine, just so you know. So it's not thick, but it's not thin, because I want my clay to be able to spread inside this little mold. All right, so I am going to smooth my edges right away. And the reason being is if you don't, they are going to be rough as you squeeze them, as you press on it. It is going to get that rough edge. So it's best just to smooth it out right away. Okay. My ball tool. So I want to make sure I have my ball tool as well. And then what I'm going to do is stick that right on there. And then I'm going to take my ball tool and just kind of push that in just a little bit. So this way I could find my middle part, and then I could put my gold clay in there. And I'm just going to grab a tiny bit. You do not need a lot, because you see how small that middle is? So right there, you don't need a lot. And then just pop it right in there. And then I'm going to take this and match it up with that little circle. And then all you do is press. So, and then look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So before I take it out, what I want to do is put some of my mica powder there. So I'm going to get my gold mica powder. And I'm going to just stick my little silicone tool in there. And then I'm going to kind of, let me get my dotting tool, because that will go much, much faster. So take your dotting tool, kind of texture, like make it text, kind of just make little blots. Nope. So I'm just going to kind of go up and down. And then I'm going to take my silicone tool and then just go right in the middle. That'll give me a nice pretty look. And then let me just go around the edges a little bit. So all this is very lightly done, but like I said, I may end up having to do my metallic pen afterwards, but I'm kind of hoping that I could get this all to go real nice. So let me just spread that. All right, so there. Do you see how pretty that looks? And like I said, you see how bright that is? So the edging is going to end up being my metallic pen. But there. So beautiful and easy. So I'm going to do the same thing with every single one. And then we get to put them together and wait till you see what it looks like together, because it ends up really, really cool. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? I love that this mold comes in this kit. I mean, there's so many neat things you could do with this particular mold. Normally I play with the cutters and I play with the rollers or the papers, you know, something along those lines. But this time around, I really just wanted to play with the mold and have a little fun with it. So I'm hoping you guys love this mold as much as I do. And I need a little bit more of my gold clay in there, so let me... That's a nice thing. If you don't have enough gold clay, you just add a tiny bit more and you're okay. The reason I'm keeping it in the mold when I do this is so I don't distort the leaf or the petals. It kind of just keeps it right in position of where I want it. And then I don't have to worry about my petals distorting. And then you can see all you do is pop it like that. And it just kind of comes right out. Look at the underneath of it. Beautiful. So very, very easy. All right, so I have all those ones together. Now I'm going to make my one for just like a ring. And I am actually going to do, I'm going to do this one. I think that's the perfect size. This one I want to be nice and bright. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to do this twice. So that'll be, yeah, this small one here. Okay. This is just a little idea I have in my head how I want this to go. So we will see. All right. So I'm going to lay this one down. No middle for this one. Press that in. Oh, look how beautiful that's going to be. Okay, my clay is not... Let's do this a little thicker. All right, hold on. All right, let's try this a little thicker. Just because I want to make sure that it doesn't break. And you know what else I'm going to do? Because this clay is pretty sticky, I'm going to actually put a little bit of baby powder. Let's just make sure that this doesn't stick. Okay. Put that in there. Oh, it flew. There we go. And don't worry about the baby powder. It will come off. And then we're going to take a little bit of yellow. Nope, that's a lot of yellow. And then match that one up. Look at those colors. How pretty is that? Okay. Put that off to the side. And I'm going to get one of my clean brushes here. And very carefully just brush that baby powder off. Okay. Get your clay I think I'm going to put it in this one. All right, I'm going to get my poly paste. Just stick that in there. Get that all the way around. This way, that clay is not going to come out no matter what. Okay. Oops. This one first. And then just press that in there. All right, I'm going to take a tiny, tiny bit. I'm going to put that right on there. Now, one thing that you need to know is you don't need a lot of this poly paste. I'm not kidding you. Like, very little will work perfect. I'm going to take that. And I'm going to take my little ball tool. And let me adjust my ring exactly how I want it. Okay. And now we're going to get a little bit more of my poly paste. Put that in there. And push that in there. And all I'm doing is pushing the sides in here. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? All right, so now put that one off to the side. Let me see. Bead holder, and let me bake my piece right on my tube if I have one that's not overly too big. There we go. And I could bake it just like that. And that way I don't have to worry about it getting mushed or anything. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just open this ring up. Let's hope I can get it wide enough for that. Okay. So I have these little pieces here that I can set there. And then I'm just going to take some of my scrap clay. Let me get one that's yucky. And just put it like that. And I can bake it like this, and this will come right out. Okay? So that's an easy way of doing it. So then I could just go like that, and it'll work good. Okay. Let me just put that on there. All right, so this one I'm going to do slightly different. Get my poly paste. Push that in there. Get it all the way to the edge. And I like to get it nice and smooth. Okay, now you can see that is full of the poly paste. So I'm just gonna take a little bit out of the lid, spread it on there perfectly. And then I'm gonna set this right on here. This way I could build right on it. And I'm gonna take my little ones here. And I'm me just put my finger there. Press those down. And you see how I'm lifting this section up? That's so I could get more of my flowers in there. But I definitely want to press the middle down so that gets like pushed, so it gets pushed onto the clay underneath. And then let's lift this one up. Oops. I guess. Oh. Okay. Let's do it this way. Oops, oops, oops. So you can see I'm kind of fumbling with this a bit. It's because in my head, I want it a certain way, but I gotta make sure all this clay is touching properly, because if it doesn't, then you run the chance of the pieces kind of falling apart. So okay. So I did one with 3, and now I'm going to do one with 4. So look at that. Look how pretty that's going to look. Isn't that beautiful? So now it's just a matter of getting my petals exactly how I want them to be. All I'm doing is looking to make sure that everything is touching the bottom, because that is my biggest thing, is making sure the bottom is touching the bottom clay, if that makes sense. If it's not touching the bottom clay, then you're not going to have the support that you need. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let me just fix the inside of this one because I made it ugly. Okay. Take that. Put that there. I'm going to put my other ring that I did on there as well to bake. This was my little practice piece. Okay. All right. And these were my little flowers that I was practicing with. So what I am going to do next, oh, wait. Okay. So I need my, let's see, let's do, okay, I got to do 2 more pink flowers for those earrings. So this one, these will just bake and we'll keep those for a later date. Okay. So let me get my silver. Press that in. I need to make sure that this entire piece is actually covered. Okay, you can see this one I did like a little, like, I don't want to say a bubble, but I made it domed. And I'm going to do the same thing with that one. I want these ones, but these particular ones to be a little bit domed. Okay. And then once again, put a little bit of your poly paste right on that clay. All right. So next I am going to put 2 little holes in this. So one here. Well, there's going to be more than 2. And then this one's going to have 1. And right down here, right in the middle. So this one will be baked exactly the way it is. The same thing with this one. So you just put the holes in those. Make sure they're straight across and even. And I'm going to pull that one a little bit. Okay. Okay. Oops. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of open it up a little bit. And then you see that? I'm going to push that in there if I can. I want to kind of make it like a little divot to get that right in there. I need this particular piece to be 100% solid because it's going to be hanging, other pieces will be hanging off of it. So you need to make sure that it's in there real well. Okay. And then just push that in. We could there we go. Okay. And we'll just have to redo our little dots. All right. And then, of course, I'm going to form my petals the way I want them to be. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I'm actually going to add just a tiny bit more gold in there. Oh, you know what? I need my poly paste because it has mica powder. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Put that one there. Do the same thing. Open this up. All right, so now I'm going to do the other ones, these ones, exactly the same way. I'm going to bake everything, and then we'll come back and finish putting these all together and putting all the final details on them. My pieces are out of the oven. I went ahead and did most of them, but I am going to show you what I did with each step here. So for the ones that are completed, here's the pink one, or fuchsia. Look how cute that is. So what I ended up doing was I took my chrome marker. Let me get those. So these are the chrome markers that I like to use. And I used the bronze one on this one. And then I did the gold on these. So, but I want to show you how pretty these came out. So very, very cute. I adore the pink. I just think the pink is beautiful. But go with whatever color you like. And then the blue, which I think came out even, this particular piece I love. I think it's adorable. But look at these rings. How fun are those? So this one is not finished. I'm going to show you how I finished this. But I put gold around all my pieces, and then I put resin on them. And that's just to give it the extra shine. But you could use a gloss glaze. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to use resin. I just used it because it was simple and easy for me. So let me show you how we're going to put these together first. So I got oval jump rings here. And then all I'm going to do is put my oval jump ring on and then connect my pieces together. And then all you do is turn your jump ring to close it. And just make sure that it's closed all the way. And then you have your two pieces dangling. And then we want to take the little petal that it comes with and attach that one as well to finish our pieces off. So very, very simple. You edge them, you resin them, and then you attach your pieces. But look how cute. I think they're adorable. I think they're fun. And you could wear this with a dress or a pair of jeans. And those are the kind of pieces I like. Now for this one, I'm going to do the same thing I did with this ring. And that is, I'm going to take my chrome marker. I'm going to edge. So this particular one, because these parts kind of go up a little bit more onto the petal than just edging the petal, I'm kind of pulling it. And that will give me a little bit more on the petal than just edging it like that. So just pull it down. And I'm going to get really in there. There we go. Let's get these. So you can see how simple and easy this is. All I'm doing is basically scraping my marker on this. Now these particular markers, I like to let them dry for about 20 minutes. So I'm not going to resin these pieces in front of you, but I have tons of videos that will show you how to resin things. So all you have to do is look through my videos and you'll see a bunch of them. But that is honestly it. You just put them on and then you resin them and put them under your UV light. And very, very simple and easy. Once again, I'll show you what they look like. I just adore these. I think they're fun. They're just fun pieces. Let me put it like that. So look at that. Is that not here? Let me take this ring. But isn't that fun? I think they're adorable. And then you have the matching earrings. I love this kit. I love the molds that it comes in. I mean, I like all the pieces, but I don't do flowers very often. So I really wanted to bring the flowers out in this piece or in this kit. I hope that you enjoyed creating along with me. I hope that you look into get in the box. Everything's in the description area, and I will see you all next time. Bye.